Hello, my name is Alzonia Chalise, and this is the start of my Homeless Chronicles. And first things first, first question, am I really homeless? And the answer to that question would be a yes, I am. I am in transition of finding a home or finding some place that I could be comfortable with. I became homeless by choice in February of 2020. Actually, the actual date, I believe, was February 22nd. What made me decide to go homeless? I was living with my two youngest children in my apartment, and my ex-husband took me to court for custody of my children. And at the time, I was emotionally unavailable to even entertain him or to fight for myself or my children in any way. So he won custody of my children. I will explain that in detail later. And so I did not want to live in an apartment any longer because of my past experiences that I had living in apartments on my own. And when I was younger, there were times when my mom, being a single parent, would struggle with rent, with paying a rent, putting food on the table, working, trying to support me and sustain herself. And there were times, at least 3 times, that I could remember my mom being evicted from her apartment, and we had to go and find someplace else to live or live with her sisters who weren't very welcoming at the time, as far as I could tell. Even being as young as I was able to tell that. And growing up, I never wanted to go through that. And it turned out this last past year, in 2019, I was struggling. I was struggling to take care of my children, take care of myself, pay the rent, and I will explain all of that later in another bio. And I didn't want to do it anymore. If my kids weren't there with me, there was no reason for me to try to fight and struggle to pay rent or do anything else. And my rent at the time for a 3-bedroom apartment was $1,280, not to include the lights, not to include my phone bill, not to include the things that my children needed, even though they were well provided for. It didn't include a lot of things, and I had to work, sometimes 2 jobs, in order to, sustain, ourselves. And I felt like I no longer wanted everyone else to have control over me. And which is another reason why I didn't entertain my ex-husband. And I will, again, go into detail later. My rent being $1,280 a month. And at the end of every month, I had nothing to look forward to for myself except to figure out how I was going to pay the next month's rent. And that's all I spent a whole year and a half doing was, okay, I got this month accomplished. How am I going to pay the next month rent? Where's the money's going to come from? And all the while, I'm struggling to pay everybody else their bills. I'm paying the light bill. I'm paying the phone bill. I'm paying the rent. and nothing for myself. And I'm thinking, how much money could I save and have for myself if I didn't pay the rent? If I didn't have the rent? If I didn't have a light bill? And I decided, look, I'm going to not have this apartment. I'm going to leave, go on my own, be homeless. I'm going to work, and I'm going to make money as if I still had these bills, and I'm going to pay myself. And I'm going to change the way I think, change the way I do things, change the way people are in control of my life. And right after I left, the pandemic hit. I left North Carolina. I went to LA to try to find a job. That didn't work out. I ended up going to San Diego, and I went through some things in San Diego. I did find 2 jobs, but once I found those jobs, the pandemic hit, and I didn't want to be stuck in San Diego during the pandemic because it was not a very good place to be homeless, trying to work. And I didn't have my car. My car at the time was in Missouri. So once the pandemic hit, someone warned me. I was blessed enough to have someone warn me, and they said that Friday, they said, I was in a library. They said, I'm not supposed to tell anybody, but I'm going to tell you that come Monday, everything in the city is going to shut down. The pandemic is here. Everybody's being quarantined, and everything is going to shut down. And I was glad that he told me that. And so what happened that Friday, after he told me that, Saturday, I purchased a Greyhound ticket. I purchased my Greyhound ticket to Missouri, and I went to Missouri. I picked up my car, and then I lived in my car from then on. So I've been in my car since February. I want to say early March 3rd actually. And I've been living in my car, and I've been homeless since February 22nd. And for the rest of the story, follow me on Instagram, and I will give you the rest of the detail. My name is Alzonia Chalise. I will talk to you soon. I am also on YouTube. You can follow me on YouTube. And I have a website, Homeless Chronicles. Follow me on there, and I will give you the rest of the story. Until then, stay blessed.